Welcome to my channel, where we discuss everything about things politics, economy, and development in Nigeria and around the world. Our human rights activist Deji Adeyanju lied when he claimed that it was Bola Ahmed Tinubu that funded the Obidients movement in 2023, and that he will fund it again in 2027 as a political strategy. And also added that the coalition being built against Bola Ahmed Tinubu in 2027 is going to fail because Tinubu is going to encourage Peter Obi to run to ensure that the coalition does not work. That is utter rubbish, and that's what I want to show that he lied and he overrated President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. One, it is an insult on the intelligence of many Obidients to say that the Obidient movement, which was an organic movement against the incompetency, the corruption, and the ineptitude of the APC administration, against Muhammad Buhari's presidency. Don't forget, the Obedience movement arose during the time that Muhammad Buhari was the president. It was an organic movement. It was a movement that even Adam Soshomole derided, saying that he just three people tweeting in a room until the Obedient movements overwhelmed the whole country and leading to Labour Party, which became a vehicle for the Obedient movement to push for the presidency of Peter Obi, overtaking the whole country and even winning the election until INEC did their magic and rigged the election in favor of their preferred party and preferred candidate. So it's an insult on the sensibility of obedience to say that it was Bola Ahmed Tinubu who funded it in 2023 and will also fund it again in 2027. How can any reasonable person believe that kind of rubbish? That's what it is. You can't say that because it's not true. The Obedient movement, an organic movement that several people keyed into it because of the need for a change in Nigeria. After about 8 years of the ineptitude of the APC administration, which was a disaster in several ways. APC administration that took Nigeria to about 3 or 4 recessions in a row under Muhammad Buhari. So there were a lot of people galvanized by the ineptitude of the APC. So to now believe that, want people to believe that Tinubu was a strategist, he was the one that funded Obedient movement. Obedient movement that floored him in his Lagos backyard. The Obedient movement floored him in Lagos. Remember when the Obedient movement took over Lagos in a show of force? They say Obedient movement, they were just only tweeting. They're only on social media. You can't see them anywhere. The first demonstration of force was in Lagos, Tinubu's backyard. And look at what they did to Tinubu. They floored him mercilessly. In fact, there were indication that Tinubu was floored mercilessly in Lagos, beaten by a wide margin. He didn't even get up to 25% if the real result of that election were to be shown in Lagos. Akin Oshintoku, who was the Director General of the Labour Party Presidential Campaign Council, said that Tinubu did not get up to 25% in Lagos. It was INEC that helped him to narrow the gap. So that's somebody who is a strategist. They were so frightened about how Labour was able to trounce him in his backyard, that they now began the ethnic card when it came to the governorship election. That was when they started to release their goons to go about harassing anybody who looked like Igbo, as if it was Igbo people that was beat him in Lagos. Igbos, are they the highest population in Lagos? Do the Igbos constitute up to 40% of the population in Lagos? Most Yorubas were fed up with his handling of Lagos State, and they wanted to teach him a political lesson. And he was beaten black and blue in Lagos. So what kind of strategies is it? So you are a strategist, you strategize so that you'll be beaten black and blue in your home ground. If not, that Yeso Wike and INEC know what they did in Rivers State. Did Tinubu win any major voting bloc in Nigeria that traditionally determines who becomes the president of Nigeria? Ordinarily, before you can be president of Nigeria, you must win either Lagos, Rivers, Kano. These are three. Some people have won 10 of them, and when you get these three, you are home and dry. You are home and dry. You are heading for the presidency. Tinubu won none of them. Even the reverse one was African magic. The tabulation that was done by the BBC and Premium Times, two institutions that are more reliable than INEC, showed that it was Peter Obi of the Labour Party that won it. Even Tinubu himself, when he was declared the winner of the election by 8.7 million votes, how many Nigerians celebrated his victory? So-called. So what kind of strategist would strategize for him to be defeated? He was gasping for breath, literally. That was why he's almost beholden to Yeso Wike. You think that all these things like supporting Yeso Wike is for what? It was because Yeso Wike saved him from total embarrassment by handing over Rivers to him. So what kind of strategist is that? He is a strategist. He strategized in 2023. He funded the Obedient movement in 2023, and he is going to fund it again in 2027. It doesn't really make any sense. So he now began to talk about that because of that Peter Obi and that the coalition will not work. Adeyanju was saying that the coalition will not work, that Tinubu will not make it work. He said, if you are Tinubu, what will you do? Will you allow opposition coalition to work? The same opposition coalition that they use in beating Goodluck Jonathan. Will you allow the opposition? If opposition did not work, if the coalition against Tinubu did not work, it is not because of Tinubu being a political strategist. Because if not that the INEC helped him, nothing would have. If he has any strategy you can give Tinubu, it was his strategy of having people in INEC that made them to deliberately switch off the electronic transmission of the result and claim that there was glitches. That was the only strategy, but that's not a good strategy. That's a strategy sabotaging the will of the Nigerian people. So you can't call that a strategy. That's not a strategy. But if you look at what Deji was talking about in his Facebook post, saying that Tinubu will not allow the coalition to work. If the opposition coalition against him did not work, it is not because of Tinubu being a strategist that it will not work. I have already said it in this channel. What will make that coalition not work? What will make that coalition not work is Alhaji Atiku Abubakar and all those northern politicians who think that the North can be able to grab power from Bola Ahmed Tinubu in 2027. If those people continue to insist that they want to take over power from Tinubu, that is when Tinubu's strategy will work. So it is the ambition of Atiku that will probably destroy the coalition and make it not work, and not because of Tinubu. It is the ambition. It's the ambition of Atiku Abubakar. And Atiku Abubakar's ambition cannot be controlled by Tinubu. It's only Atiku Abubakar that controls his ambition. So Tinubu has no hand in it, and will have no hand in it. So that idea that Tinubu is omnipresence, is always everywhere. Where his hand, you can see his hand very clearly. He can use his people to instigate crisis among opposition political parties. But when the chiefs are down and the opposition finds a platform that they will use, and all of them agree that Peter Obi, the presidential candidate of the Labour Party in the 2023 presidential election, should be the arrowhead of the opposition, and that they are going to build the opposition against Tinubu around Peter Obi. And all this opposition, both in the northeast, northwest, north central, southeast, south, when they coalesce around Peter Obi, nothing Tinubu will do will stop him from being defeated. Even though he's going to appoint the next chairman this year, he has already appointed the Chief Justice of Nigeria. He's going to appoint, or he has appointed all the security chiefs. He is beaten with what Nigerians have passed through under him. He will be beaten so widely that he cannot rig it. Recently, President Donald Trump was asked, why is it that he didn't complain that the last election in America was not rigged, like the 2020 election. He complained that was rigged. Trump said that his second term election victory was not rigged because it was too big to rig. So the Tinubu will be beaten so big, so widely, that he will be restricted to Southwest if there are some Southwest that would vote for him out of ethnic affinity. He'll be restricted to that place that there is nothing that will save his presidency going to second term. That is what will happen if the opposition are sincere about kicking him out, making him a one-term president. The ball is in the court of the opposition. Tinubu is overrated. It is the opposition that will either hand him back a second term, and not because of his strategy. It is because the oppositions were not able to manage their own individual ambition, their own ethnic and religious agendas. That's what will hand Tinubu over a second term. It is not because he is so magical. In fact, the way he posted it, he said he funded the Obidients in 2023, funded it in 2027. He even say he funded Atiku about all kinds of things that are illogical to believe, just to make Tinubu look as if he is so strategic. He's a strategist by excellence, but that's not true. If he was such a strategist, he wouldn't have been struggling. He wouldn't have struggled to get Rivers State, for which he is now beholden to Yeso Wike. He wouldn't be struggling to try to get Rivers through the position of state of emergency and taking over that state. So Adeyanju was totally wrong in his characterization of the Obedient movement, in his characterization of other coalition builders who are trying to build a coalition against Tinubu. He overrated Tinubu. I don't know what to think about this. What do you make of Adeyanju claiming that Tinubu funded Obidients in 2023 and he will fund it again in 2027 as a strategy to destroy coalition against it. But I think the major thing that will destroy the opposition against Tinubu and stop him from being defeated is if they do not build it around Peter Obi. If Atiku Abubakar want it to be built around him, or Erofai insists he build around him, or Kwankwaso insists he build around him, then that is when you can say that the opposition coalition had failed. And that in that case, they will be handing despite his incompetence, they will be handing second term to him on a platter of gold. That's my take. I don't know what to think about this, but whatever is your position, let's hear from you at the comment section. Thank you for watching this video. And if you are new to my channel or have not yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel. Hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell. When you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, anytime I have a new video, you'll be among the first to know. God bless you. And please don't forget to like this video, because when you like it, Google will rank it high and recommend it for more people. Thank you, and God bless you and yours.